Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go now.
They go play action. It's Rosen. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. They're all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A little juke. Still fighting. terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. His first carry. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And, yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Gone!
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Drake will start the drive on the ground. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. Leopard!
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Rosen dancing to his left. He goes underneath the Drake. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bills have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now out come the Bills. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Lucky 56.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Charles Harris in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On second down, here's Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a handoff for Drake. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is Drake. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Drake. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field.
And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Dolphins have got it. So a big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Hauschka's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. He dumps it off to Drake. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And he finds Stills complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Parkey with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He'll rifle this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Corey Grant as the first half is winding down. And the Bills draw a bit closer. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Right now, look at 56.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. A first down carry for Smith. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Watch him now, Barney.
Allen off the play fake. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Robert Foster, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On second down, Rosen. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney! Gun!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the tackle there will go to Charles Harris.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Allen. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he's got some space here. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Tyler Croft, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Play action here with Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun! Watch 32.
3rd and long here for Rosen. He can run for it, and he will. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the he did.
He did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And this will be taken at the 13. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. From the gun, it's Rosen. Incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Allen now looking to throw on 2nd down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bills on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Allen. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps for these situations.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Corey Grant, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still one. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Rosen. And this will be incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Rosen will throw. He's going to air one out. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll go on the ground. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Mika Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Parker unable to get that one. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.